Batman, 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 hey, Batman, Batman. Mr. Never use a gap, man. Never turn like a Batman.
There are many great players and great talents in the NBA from all different types of shapes and sizes and positions. But who are the best 5 players in the NBA currently? That is the question, and I have the answer for you. But before we get into the video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Make sure you guys stay tuned to all my latest videos. Turn that bell notification on. Follow me on all these social media platforms if you like what I do. And with that out of the way, who is number 5? Well, at number 5, we have Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. This man is an absolute monster at the power forward position. Now, what has he done throughout this season so far? Well, if you take a look at the screen, I have AD stats for you right there. 26.7 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1.5 steals, 2.4 blocks per game, which is, I believe, top 3 in the NBA. He's shooting 51% from the field, 84% from the free throw line, which is exceptional for someone at his height, 33% from the three-point line, so he can obviously stretch the floor, and he has a PER of 28.2, which is among the best in the NBA. Now, why is AD a top 5 player in the world? Because at the power forward position, he gives you extreme versatility. He can defend almost any position. He has great ball handling skills for someone at his size. He can run the floor thanks to the fact that he used to play point guard in, I believe, high school, if I am not mistaken. He's strong. He has a very long wingspan, which definitely does contribute to his versatility on defense, as I mentioned earlier. He can put the ball on the floor. He can dribble the rock. He has a nice, solid mid-range game, and he can hit the three-point shot. And not to mention, speaking of his defense, as I mentioned earlier, he is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. When Anthony Davis is on the floor, your team's defense is going to be much better than it was before he was on the floor. So that is exactly why I have Anthony Davis at the 5th spot. But who could be number 4? Well, number 4 is Fear the Beard, James Harden. Come on, guys. You guys already know the vibes. If you know anything about basketball, if you're a true savant or true student of the game of basketball, no top 5 list can be complete without James Harden. Take a look at the screen. He's putting up for this season 34.4 points per game, 6.4 rebounds, 7.4 assists, 1.7 steals, and he has 0.9 blocks per game, which is first among shooting guards. Now take a look at his shooting splits: 43.5% from the field, 86 from the line, 35 from 3, 61% true shooting, and 28.4 PER. Look, you already know the deal with James Harden. He is easily one of the most prolific scorers in the history of the NBA. Now, we've had a lot of great scorers: Kobe, KD, MJ. We've had it all, but James Harden is one of those guys. He's on their level. The way he just dribbles the basketball, the way he can do whatever he wants with the defense, and not to mention, he's become a better defender. A knock on James Harden throughout most of his career is that he's been a poor defender, and he's not someone that you can, really have on the floor. He's a defensive liability, but he's improved upon that. He's among the top in deflections in the NBA. He's one of the best post defenders in the NBA, especially at the guard spot. And the way he just slithers through the lane, his production, his productivity, he's just simply sensational. That is why I have him at number 4. Now, moving on. Number 3, we have Kawhi Fun Guy Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, if you would, take a look at the screen, because if you know me, I always show you the graphics. I always show you the numbers. For this season, 26.9 points per game, 7.3 boards, 5 assists. The 5 assists is very key because Kawhi Leonard this season has truly improved as a playmaker. 1.8 steals. Let's take a look at his shooting splits, because those are also sensational. 47% from the field overall. He shoots 89% from the free throw line. That is KD, Larry Bird-esque levels. He's shooting 36.8% from the three-point line. He has a true shooting percentage of 58.5%, and his PER is 26.7. Look, like I said, if you're a true student of the game of basketball, if you're a true enthusiast, you know what the deal is with Kawhi. Now, obviously, a common knock against Kawhi Leonard is the fact that, hey, he's a load manager. He doesn't like to play back-to-backs, things of that nature. And to be honest with you, that is kind of a good thing. Because let's say Kawhi Leonard wasn't a load manager, I would honestly tell you he was the best player in the NBA. If he was playing, more games more often, I would probably put him number 1. But because he load manages and the best ability in basketball is availability, that is why I knocked him down to 3rd. But other than that, he's pretty much compared to MJ all the time. The defense, he's obviously still one of the best defenders in the NBA. His playmaking has improved drastically from last year. He can just do it all. Kawhi Leonard is sensational. The mid-range, you name it, he's got it. Now, who is at number 2? None other than LeBron James. Come on, guys. You guys already know the vibes, and I hope I don't piss off any people with, not having him at number 1. But take a look at the screen if you would. 25.7 points per game, 7.9 boards per game for LeBron, 10.6 assists per game, which leads the NBA. 1.2 steals, 0.5 blocks. Now let's take a look at his shooting splits. 49.8% from the field, which is amazing. 69% from the free throw line, that's pretty bad. But you know what? Come on, nobody's perfect. 35% from the three-point line. Has a true shooting percentage of 58.2% for those of you nerds who love that stat, and a 26 PER. Now, I'm not one of those people he's in year 17, look how great he's playing. He's in year 17, that's why he deserves it. Nah. But I do have to admit, it is very impressive for LeBron to be playing at such a high level at year 17. Now, it is pretty unprecedented. The closest thing that I can think of, as far as a player performing this well this late into their career, would be probably Kobe Bryant. And that was the 2012-2013 season. But aside from that, this is pretty unprecedented. He's leading the NBA in assists, which is something he's never done, but now he's doing it. His scoring is down just a tad bit to where it usually is, but he's still just insane. He's still efficient, shooting about 50% from the field. He can still get you buckets. He's still the best passer in the world. He's improved his defense from last year. Last year, a common knock on LeBron James was that he wasn't playing defense anymore, and he was just sitting back, and we already know how that goes. Now, if you haven't already guessed, the number 1 is obviously Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that's how you pronounce it. Take a look at the screen. I got the stats for you right there. 29.6 points per game, 13.7 rebounds, 5.8 assists. He's got 1 steal per game, 1 block per game. Now take a look at his shooting splits. He's shooting 55% from the field, 63 from the free throw line. Pretty damn pathetic, but like Hannah Montana said, ain't nobody perfect. He's shooting 30.6% from 3, which is actually an improvement from last year. He has a true shooting percentage of 60.8, which is insane, and he leads the NBA in PER with 31. What more is there to say about Giannis, the Greek freak down in Milwaukee? Really, he can do it all. The only thing he's really lacking at this point is a consistent outside jumper, but he's just so dominant on both ends of the court. He can do it all. He's scoring 30 per game. He's giving you about 14 rebounds per game, and he's a defensive player of the year candidate. And in my view, he should win. He should be the favorite for the defensive player of the year candidate. For me personally, Giannis is the best player in the world because he's one of the best players on both sides of the court. It's not just one part. It's not just offense. It's not just defense. There's really not much else you can ask of him other than to develop a consistent three-point shot. And that, like I said before, that has improved from last year. Last year he was shooting about 27%. This year he's shooting 30%, and he's attempting more. So, it's not something that's holding him back as much as before. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. That is my top 5 players in the NBA currently. I would love to know what you think down below. Definitely leave a comment with your top 5. And I would love to chat it up with you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, follow me on all these social media platforms if you like what I do. And with that being said, I hope all y'all are staying blessed, and I'm out of here. Deuces.